Now, to discuss the impact of the alcohol ban on the industry, we are now joined by Hester Bergh from the Craft Brewers Association of South Africa. Thank you so much for you this afternoon and for your time. And now let's get into your reaction to the alcohol ban that was announced by President Cyril Ramaphosa last night.
Once again, a big shock for our industry. As you know, the 3 previous alcohol bans resulted into about 7,400 job losses across the beer industry, 14.2 billion in lost sales revenue and 7.8 billion loss in taxes and excise duties. Looking at the 4th ban hitting us now, we are really concerned about our small businesses and especially the smaller beer industries really not making it through this 4th one. And the biggest scope of things are we as BASA and CBASA are really trying to support the government. We understand the alcohol ban. In results, we tried, the halting of all our sponsored events. We encourage all liquor establishments and retailers to implement safety protocols. We provide them with training and guidelines. And we started with, click and collect platforms, delivery sales, making sure that customers can consume safely at home, not gathering. Along with the broader alcohol industry, BUS has also funded 500 patrollers and ex-reservists in the police industry to try and help SAPs monitoring these things. With this ban, the illegal alcohol side of things are celebrating this, we're looking at the illicit alcohol industry, which had an effect of 11.3 billion last year alone. I don't think South Africans will stop drinking. And with the government not enrolling vaccinations, vaccinations is there for COVID-19. We do not have a vaccination for poverty. And I think that's our concern, is still job losses and the affected as bigger than our industry and selling alcohol. If you look at what most of our microbreweries are still doing is feeding our nation. And I don't know if the public knows that, but Woodstock Brewery actually with its Mother Soup project has actually reached 5 million meals since the beginning of COVID. That is one microbrewery that is stepping up and still feeding 20,000 people daily. So from that point of view, it isn't just about the alcohol for us. It is about poverty, taking care of the people, and we can't afford to lose any of our skilled people anymore in the industry. We're quite devastated. We really hope that, the president will relook things, that excise is due now once again. And all of these things affect our brewers. Especially the craft beer industry, we're more community-based type of culture. And so for us, it is really like taking care of our employees, taking care of the people of South Africa. And you can see that by the way we are serving beyond making alcohol, also providing meals and soup to the biggest scope. Most of our recipients receiving relief or, soup funding from us are children. So from that point, it's just really dire times for us. And
Now, Hester, you mentioned taking care of your people. How do you propose that this latest ban on alcohol will have an impact? I know you've mentioned just the devastating effects that it has in previous lockdowns. We actually also know that some people have not only lost their livelihoods completely and lost their businesses, but they've had to start from scratch thinking that, hopefully that after we saw the previous lockdown, that things were, on a homeward kind of stream. How do you think that this latest one will do? Can you actually save the industry?
I doubt it. Look, breweries are closing left and right, and the equipment's sitting on the market. If you go onto Gumtree now, you'll be able to buy equipment left and right, and that's very expensive stuff as well. So, for me, I don't see if our equipment's not working, there's no way for a brewer to make money. So, now we're using our machinery to make soup just to get that, keeping the staff busy, keeping them working, even if it is in the volunteer space. But not a lot of brewers have the funds anymore, or the support to do that. We also, as CBSA, put meal vouchers forward to try and help and bring relief to the staff because there's no support from the government. And even if we as an industry opened up, like for instance, our venues and our distribution channels to try and speed up vaccination processes, there's the government's not engaging with that. And so for us, we do want to see a big vaccination rollout. We can support with our distribution channels and our connections and our outlets. And I think we need to put pressure on our healthcare system and the government to really start rolling out these things in the bigger scope.
Now, I mean, a lot of people understand at this point we've had this pandemic for over a year now, that the government had to, do a balancing act between saving lives and also saving the economy. So instead of a blanket ban, what does this industry propose?
I think especially looking at the trading hours for smaller venues. It's a whole different approach if you look at big liquor stores, but your smaller outlets, we running, I don't know. I don't actually have an answer for that. The best is just to keep it open for us right now. It is so dire that we really just need to make sales. The recovering process that we're in because of the backlash already of last year is so devastating in our businesses that I don't have solutions if this is the president's approach. I do understand the strain that alcohol and abuse has on the healthcare system, but you're currently looking at just actually supporting illegal alcohol sales, and that puts people under health pressure. I personally feed some of the homeless people in Woodstock, Salt River, and District 6. And every single ban, I lose people due to the fact that they drink sanitizer or go to unsafe resources for alcohol. So the biggest scope of this, like closing the alcohol ban, no. The healthcare system is under strain, yes, but the government should support the healthcare system and roll out vaccinations and let our smaller businesses get back to just trying to do business, trying to get the economy back on the feet. We are so creative, like I say, from online sales to every single way, trying to support the president in his decisions. But I guess we need bigger answers than that. And more than ever, we need the public to support your neighbor, your local guy around the corner. Every single ban has an effect on multiple families. I'm sorry, I don't actually have a solution answer there for you.
Hester, thank you so much for your time, and I do absolutely sympathize with your industry and absolutely understand that most South Africans simply don't have answers, today as we start this new lockdown. A lot of people saying that they don't actually know if their industries will survive. Thank you so much for your time this afternoon. That was Hester Bergh from the Craft Brewers Association.